My sister-in-law was pregnant for 3 years. Master Shen declared it was the reincarnation of a divine pearl child. I told Clara there was no such thing as a divine pearl child. She should go to the hospital immediately. Sure enough, after a checkup, a tumor was discovered in her uterus. Luckily, it was removed in time, saving her life. Afterwards, Grandma Lee, disappointed that Clara couldn't bear children, secretly arranged for my brother Daniel to take a second wife. Clara, devastated, blamed all her marital misfortunes on me. If it weren't for you, I would have given the Lee family a wealthy and noble firstborn son long ago. In a fit of rage, Clara murdered me. When I opened my eyes again, I had been reborn, returning to the very day Master Shen first visited our home. It's all your fault, you jinx. Why didn't I just throw you into the sewer to drown back then? Hearing the familiar curses, I realized I had been reborn. In my previous life, I had just returned from a business trip to find a charlatan, calling himself Master Shen, in our living room. The moment he saw Clara, he prostrated himself before her pregnant belly. "Master, your disciple has finally found you." He kowtowed 3 times while Clara, bewildered, had no idea what was happening. Master Shen eagerly asked if she had been pregnant for 3 years. Clara nodded. Master Shen waved his hand and declared, "Then there's no mistake." He then informed Clara, "Within your womb is the reincarnation of a divine pearl child, destined for great wealth and nobility." Master Shen even claimed to be the divine pearl child's personal disciple, leaving Grandma Lee and Clara utterly dumbfounded. I instantly sensed something was wrong. Who gets pregnant for 3 years? I dragged Clara to the hospital. Indeed, the examination revealed a tumor. Fortunately, it was removed in time, saving her life. Tragically, because the tumor was in her uterus, Clara survived but would never be able to bear children again. Grandma Lee, desperate for a male heir for Daniel, secretly found Selina, his mistress, and even planned to marry her into the family as a second wife. Clara was furious when she found out. I thought she would divorce Daniel and even helped her find the best divorce lawyers. But to my shock, Clara blamed everything on me. She cunningly ambushed and knocked me out. When I woke up, she stood over me, wielding a pig-slaughtering knife, her face contorted with malice. "If it weren't for you, I would have given the Lee family a wealthy and noble firstborn son long ago." I knelt on the floor, begging her for mercy, head bowing repeatedly. But Clara's hatred for me ran bone-deep. She hacked me to death with the knife, dumped my body in the wilderness, and then, with my huge life insurance payout, reconciled with Daniel as if nothing had happened. Now, in this reborn life, Master Shen, just like before, announced that Clara's fetus was unstable and required a sarira relic soaked in water to stabilize the pregnancy. Grandma Lee frowned. "Master Shen, where do we find a sarira relic? Isn't that a treasure only found after the Buddha's nirvana?" No sooner had she spoken than Master Shen produced a green sarira relic. "You've come to the right person," he said. "I just happen to have one." Grandma Lee reached out to take it, but Master Shen swatted her hand away. Before my master reincarnated, he repeatedly instructed that his family in this life must pay for this sarira relic. Only then will my master, after being born, achieve great wealth and nobility, protecting your entire family with endless glory and riches. Grandma Lee cautiously asked. "How much?" Master Shen held up 10 fingers. Grandma Lee gasped, 10,000. Seeing her hesitate, I quickly tugged at her sleeve. "Grandma, this is your great-grandchild, the reincarnation of a divine pearl child. It's just 10,000, what's that compared to the future glory and wealth?" Grandma Lee still looked troubled. She truly didn't have that much money on hand. I immediately interjected. "Grandma, don't I send you 20,000 every month? Did you spend it all?" Clara overheard and was stunned. 20,000? I thought it was only 3,000. Grandma Lee's eyes darted away as she stammered. "And no, there's still a little left. In my previous life, I worked elsewhere, earning 30,000 a month. Grandma Lee, under the pretense of holding onto my money, forced me to pay for living expenses. If I refused, she'd accuse me of being unfilial. Every time I tried to protest, Grandma Lee would say, "I'm keeping this money for you. Do you think I'd spend your money?" After many fruitless arguments, I eventually believed her. But my reasons for contributing weren't just that. I also wanted to protect our fragile family ties. From a young age, Grandma Lee always favored boys over girls. My parents died early, and she treated me like Daniel's slave, constantly serving her. Later, when I got a high-paying job, Grandma Lee finally started paying attention to me. Now, after being reborn, not only will I stop contributing, but I'll also teach them a lesson about how easy it is to earn money and how hard it is to keep it. I continued to urge Grandma Lee, "Grandma, if you have the money, just take it out. Your great-grandchild will surely be the most filial to you." Unable to refuse, Grandma Lee reluctantly pulled out a bank card. She thought Master Shen wouldn't be able to process the payment, but to her surprise, he promptly produced a POS machine. Seconds later, 100,000 yuan was transferred from Grandma Lee's card. Her face darkened. After that, Master Shen left his business card and the green sarira relic, then departed. Clara eagerly took the sarira relic to soak in water. The moment she opened the package, a foul stench assaulted her nose. Clara, disgusted, covered her nose. "What on earth is that disgusting smell?" Grandma Lee glared at her. "You ignorant wretch, what do you know? This is a treasure, of course it has a unique scent. Hurry up and soak it for my grandson to drink. If you mess up my great-grandchild's reincarnation, you'll regret it." I watched the scene, secretly laughing. That green sphere was, of course, foul-smelling, because it wasn't a sarira relic at all, just a piece of feces glued together. If they wanted to play the fools, let them. This time, I wouldn't stop them. After Clara soaked the sarira relic in water, it quickly turned a pale green. To stabilize the fetus, Clara, pinching her nose, drank it all. She'd only had half when her stomach began to swell and ache. "Oh my God, why does my stomach hurt so much?" Clara looked at me with pleading eyes, thinking I would once again side with her against them. This time, I remained silent, waiting for Grandma Lee to speak. Grandma Lee took a sip of tea and told me to make Clara drink the remaining half. "No, my stomach hurts too much, I can't drink anymore." Clara tried to refuse, but how could I let her off? I clamped her mouth shut and poured the rest of the bowl down her throat. Clara choked violently. Grandma Lee looked at me with satisfaction. "I paid 100,000 for this medicine to stabilize my great-grandchild's pregnancy, you hussy, and you dare be picky and say you won't drink it. Who gave you the right?" In this household, apart from Grandma Lee, all women held the lowest status. Clara, despite being scolded, dared not defy Grandma Lee. She only dared to direct her resentment at me. Clara's eyes, dark and cold, stared fixedly at me. But how could I be intimidated by her this time? I stood up, walked to Clara's side, and exclaimed in surprise, "Oh, Clara, why did you throw it all up?" Hearing this, Grandma Lee stood up, marched over to Clara, and slapped her hard across the face. "You worthless woman, if you weren't carrying my great-grandchild, I would have thrown you out of this house long ago." Clara's face was bright red from the slap, even showing a trace of blood. She clutched her face, daring not to speak. Before the pain in her face subsided, her stomach began to ache again. She clutched her belly, writhing in pain on the floor, sweat beading on her forehead. Grandma Lee told me not to worry about her. Master Shen said it's normal for the stomach to swell and ache. It's my precious great-grandchild reshaping its bones and muscles. I smiled and nodded in agreement. Nacha will surely achieve great things after he's born. After my flattery, Grandma Lee's smile was so wide it couldn't be contained. Clara didn't leave her room all afternoon. I went in to check and found her unconscious. I quickly called Grandma Lee. Grandma Lee kicked Clara, who lay on the floor. "Stop playing dead, get up and cook." There was no movement the first time. The second time, Grandma Lee kicked her a few more times. Clara remained still. Grandma Lee was shocked and scared. "She's dead. Could she really be dead? Call the hospital." I called 911. The doctors arrived quickly. In the ambulance, Grandma Lee was so anxious she stamped her feet. "Doctor, how is my great-grandchild? Is he all right? Oh, why am I so unlucky? If anything happens to my great-grandchild, I won't live either." Grandma Lee looked at Clara with concern, but her words sent shivers down the spines of those in the ambulance. At the hospital, Clara was rushed into the emergency room. Meanwhile, the doctor repeatedly questioned, holding the test results. "Is the patient really pregnant?" Grandma Lee grew agitated by the questioning, stomping her feet and pointing at the doctor's face, yelling, "You people are blind. My great-grandchild is the reincarnation of a divine pearl child, 3 years and almost due. If you do anything to him, I'll risk my old life and fight you." The doctor urged Grandma Lee to calm down. After a while, the doctor told Grandma Lee, "Your daughter-in-law is not pregnant. She has a tumor in her uterus that needs to be removed as soon as possible, or it could be life-threatening." Grandma Lee froze, stunned. "What did you say? My daughter-in-law isn't pregnant? How can that be? My great-grandchild even visited me in a dream last night, and you're telling me she's not pregnant." The doctor, fearing he might be wrong, re-examined the test report carefully, then told Grandma Li, "Your daughter-in-law is definitely not pregnant, and she needs surgery immediately, or her life will be in danger." The doctor repeated his words. Grandma Li looked drained, leaning against the hallway wall. She couldn't believe that after just one bowl of sarira soup, her long-awaited great-grandchild was gone. Grandma Li was on the verge of collapse, but still prepared to sign the surgical consent form. Just as she was about to agree, a figure suddenly appeared behind Grandma Li, snatched the consent form, and tore it to shreds. "You charlatans, scheming to harm and kill my master, who sent you?" Grandma Li, terrified, looked at Master Shen, her hands trembling. "Master Shen, what do you mean, scheming to harm and kill?" Master Shen helped Grandma Li up. "If I had been one step late, your great-grandchild would have been murdered." Grandma Li understood instantly. "I knew it." "How could my great-grandchild be a tumor?" Grandma Li angrily grabbed her cane, intending to hit the doctor. The doctor, still kind, tried to dissuade her, but Grandma Li wouldn't listen. Despite the doctor's objections, she forced Clara out of the hospital room. Clara clutched her stomach, tears welling in her eyes. "Grandma, my stomach really hurts. Is it truly a tumor? My stomach is so uncomfortable. Please let me go back to see the doctor." Grandma Li immediately told her to shut up. "Master Shen said there's no tumor in your belly. It's all those greedy charlatans trying to trick money and harm my great-grandchild. Just endure it a little longer. When my great-grandchild is safely born, you will be a hero to our Li family." Clara turned to me, trying to reach out and grasp my wrist, begging me to speak up for her. I covered her hand with the blanket. "Grandma is right. When you give birth to Natcha, you'll be a great hero to our Li family." Hearing that I also wouldn't defend her, Clara immediately looked desperate. She let her hand fall limp, allowing us to take her home. Back home, Master Shen injected Clara with something unknown, and indeed, her stomach pain subsided. Clara joyfully looked at Master Shen. "It seems I really am pregnant with the reincarnation of a divine pearl child." Seeing Clara's joyous expression, I knew she now fully believed Master Shen's words. "The blessings your great-grandchild brings are far more than I imagined, old madam. You are truly blessed." Master Shen looked at Grandma Li with a sincere expression. Grandma Li beamed with joy, but Master Shen added, "However, the blessings are too great. Your family might not be able to bear them. You need to use incense and offerings to worship." Grandma Li patted her chest. "No problem, it's just a few incense money." Master Shen put his hands behind his back and shook his head. "This isn't ordinary worship. There must be a special altar for the mother of the divine pearl child in this life to worship herself day and night." I witnessed it all. Grandma Li quickly asked how. Master Shen said they needed to go back to the village, spend 100,000 yuan to build a high wall, and then construct a tall altar on it for Clara to pray for blessings day and night. Seeing Grandma Li hesitate, I spoke for her. "Can't regular worship be enough? Does it really have to be a high wall?" Master Shen scoffed, dissatisfied. "That's my master, the reincarnation of a divine pearl child. Only an altar far from the ground can isolate him from the mundane world below." A string of nonsensical, illogical theories, yet it fooled Grandma Li and Clara into utter bewilderment. I slapped my thigh. "Master Shen is so right." Seeing this, Grandma Li gritted her teeth, determined to take us back to the village. I laughed coldly to myself. That ridiculous wall, costing 100,000, was nothing but a lie to deceive them. But if they wanted to be fooled, I'd just go with the flow. Back in the village, in less than 3 days, Master Shen found a construction crew. But the eyes of those workers were lecherous, each one staring intently at Clara. Yet, Clara felt nothing unusual. She merely thought those country bumpkins were jealous because she was pregnant with the reincarnation of a divine pearl child. The high wall was quickly built, with a protruding platform on top. Clara climbed the ladder. As soon as she reached the top, Master Shen had the ladder removed, claiming that to ensure uninterrupted worship, Clara needed to stay up there, praying day and night. At first, Clara was quite proud. Grandma Li brought her greasy, salty food every day. Seeing Clara's belly grow bigger and bigger, Grandma Li even fed her extra at night. Unexpectedly, a week later, Clara couldn't stomach these greasy foods anymore. A few days prior, Grandma Li had forced Clara to eat. "Is this for you to eat? This is for my precious great-grandchild." Afterwards, Clara threw the food down. Clara cried from up there, saying her stomach hurt terribly and even threatened to jump down. Reluctantly, Grandma Li had to find Master Shen. Master Shen walked around the high wall, once clockwise, once counterclockwise, then exclaimed in alarm, This is not good. During the worship, her heart was not calm, which led to this incident. She has been possessed by an evil spirit. I need to quickly exorcise her. Grandma Lee heard this and fretted. Old madam, don't worry. For just 88,000, I will stay up all night to exorcise your great-grandchild. This is urgent. There can be no delay. Grandma Lee was already completely deluded by this so-called Master Shen. Never mind 88,000, even if it were 880,000, as long as he dared to ask, Grandma Lee would pawn everything to gather the money for him. I stood by, coldly observing as Grandma Lee emptied her last savings. What? Exorcism? It was all a lie. The tumor in Clara's uterus was highly sensitive to greasy food. Grandma Lee had been madly cooking it for her, feeding her until her mouth was oily every day. It was only a matter of time before something happened. That evening, Master Shen sent Grandma Lee and me away. He said no outsiders were allowed during the exorcism. After Grandma Lee fell asleep, I still secretly snuck out. I saw a group of men on the ladder under the moonlight. From their attire, they seemed to be the construction crew from the daytime. The leader was none other than the so-called Master Shen. Clara was in unbearable pain and wanted to run to the hospital. Master Shen directly injected something, probably a sedative, into her waist. The exorcism was a sham. Their true intention was to assault Clara. Just as I suspected, their daytime gazes were like those of predators eyeing their prey. I hid in the shadows, witnessing her fate with my own eyes. Not only was I unmoved, but I felt a twisted sense of exhilaration. In my previous life, Clara had found men to treat me the same way. A group of disgusting men trampled all over me until they were tired of playing, and then she killed me. Wasn't this poetic justice? I would exact my pain back from them 1,000, 10,000 times over. To avoid detection, Master Shen even helped Clara put her clothes back on before he left. Clara cried without tears. I knew she wouldn't dare tell Grandma Lee about this. Even the next day, when Grandma Lee brought her food, she devoured it. Grandma Lee went downstairs, praising Master Shen profusely. Master Shen shook his head. You flatter me too much. This was just one night. It will take at least half a month. When Grandma Lee left, Master Shen repeatedly cautioned her, absolutely do not go out at night. Half a month later, the weather turned cold. When I brought Clara food, she was visibly much thinner. She just glared at me fiercely, probably thinking why it wasn't me who was assaulted. Clara's face was pale, her lips trembling as she asked, "Where's your brother?" I knew she wanted to call for Daniel's help. I didn't stop her. As she dialed the number, I said, word for word, "There's a distant cousin visiting who's pregnant. Grandma and Brother Daniel are both taking care of her and her pregnancy. But I've never heard of this cousin, Clara. Do you know if we have a distant cousin?" The moment she stood up, a foul stench wafted from her. At this point, she didn't care much anymore. She pushed past me, grabbed the ladder, and climbed down. Clara had been trapped on the platform for so long, it was small and cramped, and she had long forgotten how to walk. Watching her stumble, fall, and then get up again, I found it amusing. As for that cousin, of course, it was Daniel's mistress, Selina, whom he had kept outside. Whether Clara had children or not, it wouldn't change the outcome of Daniel finding Selina. When Clara arrived home, she just happened to witness the scene. Daniel was kneeling on one knee, his eyes full of love as he caressed Selina's belly. Compared to Clara's foul-smelling appearance, I, standing at the door, was a world apart. Perhaps it was all the pent-up resentment. Clara shrieked, her untrimmed fingernails long and sharp, as she lunged forward. "You hussy! You think you can marry into our Lee family? I am the one carrying the Lee family's bloodline." The reincarnation of a divine pearl child. Who are you? Daniel looked at Clara with disgust. Selina, frightened, cowered in Daniel's arms. "Why did you come down? Weren't you supposed to be up there worshipping?" Clara broke down, yelling. "So that's why you felt safe bringing your mistress into the house, huh?" Daniel frowned tightly. "Mistress, this is just my distant cousin. You're overthinking things." Clara refused to be fooled like this. Seizing Daniel's inattention, she counterattacked. Clara fiercely clawed Selina's face, leaving 5 parallel scratches. There was even blood and flesh from Selina's face under Clara's fingernails. Selina screamed in pain, clutching her face. The commotion was too loud, alerting Grandma Lee. She arrived on the scene and, without needing to be told, knew what had happened. But being cunning, she feigned ignorance, grabbing a broomstick as if to hit Daniel. "You dare keep a vixen in this house? Do you want to die?" Grandma Lee pretended to be an outsider. acting as if she had no idea Daniel had a mistress. Grandma Lee's act was so convincing that Clara actually believed it. After a chaotic scene, Grandma Lee in front of Clara kicked Selena out of the house. Clara, clutching her belly, watched Selena leave. "As long as I'm not dead, you won't even be a concubine." Seeing Selena angrily storm off, Clara finally smirked in triumph. Believing the misunderstanding was resolved, Grandma Lee then told me to take Clara back to the high wall. "I see your belly is quite big now. It must be almost time to give birth. Hurry back and continue your worship. Don't miss the auspicious day for my great-grandchild's birth." Clara slapped her head. "Oh, right. My son will bring glory to our ancestors later. I can't be delayed." As soon as Clara left the door, Grandma Lee told Daniel to quickly go and coax Selena back. This was because Grandma Lee had already taken Selena to a back alley clinic for a checkup. The baby Selena was carrying was also a boy. One grandson, two grandsons. As long as it was a boy, Grandma Lee loved them all. As for whether she was a mistress or not, Grandma Lee didn't care much. I was taking Clara back when an incident occurred midway. Clara's stomach swelled up and she writhed in pain on the ground. I was surprised. "Clara, are you about to give birth?" I quickly called 911, then went home to inform Grandma Lee. Grandma Lee was overjoyed. She hurriedly grabbed the prepared birth bag. "My great-grandchild is finally about to be born. This is the reincarnation of a divine pearl child." In the hospital corridor, Grandma Lee was too excited to sit still. But we weren't waiting outside the delivery room, we were outside the emergency room. My heart, with each passing moment, grew increasingly thrilled. I wondered how spectacular Grandma Lee's expression would be when she learned that her long-awaited great-grandchild was no more. Other families were also waiting outside the emergency room. Grandma Lee, oblivious to others' suffering, made phone calls directly in the hallway, hoping everyone would hear. "My great-grandchild is about to be born. You all better prepare your red envelopes then. I'm telling you, my great-grandchild is the reincarnation of a divine pearl child. The ancestral graves of our Lee family are smoking with good fortune." The people around us, seeing this, distanced themselves from Grandma Lee. "Crazy woman," someone muttered softly. Grandma Lee heard it and raised her hand, ready to grab that person's hair. "Who are you calling crazy? Say that again." Daniel quickly stopped Grandma Lee. Just as a fight was about to break out, the doctor emerged from the emergency room. "We did our best. The patient has late-stage cancer, and I'm afraid she has less than 3 months left. Let her eat whatever she wants." Grandma Lee couldn't believe it. She collapsed to the ground. The people around, instead of comforting her, said, "Look at her, bragging and boasting about her great-grandchild, bragging until she lost him. Truly an unfortunate person." Grandma Lee immediately swung her cane. "Damn you, our Lee family's great-grandchild is the most blessed. It must be these quacks who killed my grandson." With that, Grandma Lee cried hysterically in the hospital hallway. "Everyone look, murder, murder. My great-grandchild is the reincarnation of a divine pearl child, destined for great wealth and nobility. This hospital was jealous of my great-grandchild and killed him." This time, Clara was truly diagnosed with cancer. Even large clumps of her hair were falling out. I stepped into Clara's hospital room and closed the door. Clara groggily opened her eyes. "Why is it so noisy out there? Where's my son?" I ignored Clara. I poured a glass of water and offered it to her. "Thirsty, aren't you? Drink some water." Clara struggled to sit up, saw her hair all over the bed, and couldn't help but scream. "Ah, my hair, what happened?" Clara, terrified, grabbed a mirror, saw her bald scalp, and threw the mirror away. Even the glass of water I offered her was knocked to the ground. "Where's my son? Tell me, where's my son?" Seeing Clara's frantic state, I found it amusing. I picked up the mirror beside her, clamped her chin tightly. "Look closely at yourself. You're neither human nor ghost. No wonder Daniel would rather find a mistress than be with you." "You're lying." Clara couldn't believe she had become like this. She grabbed my shoulders as if wanting to crush my bones and flesh. But what strength did she have left now? I gently pushed her hands away. "Your son, Clara, are you delusional from your illness? When did you have a son? You don't even have a uterus anymore and you still want a son?" Clara's eyes turned bloodshot. She gripped the bedsheet, asking me what had really happened. I directly threw a stack of medical reports at her. She mumbled, "It can't be. My son is the reincarnation of a divine pearl child. How could I have cancer? How could I have a tumor? I know. Did that mistress give you benefits so you deliberately say this?" At this point, she was like a madwoman. I knew that when people are at their lowest, adding fuel to the fire pushes them further into despair. I took out my phone and replayed the video of Clara being exorcised every night from her initial resistance to her eventual compliance. Lily, you hussy. How do you have this video? Clara struggled to get up, trying to snatch my phone, but instead fell straight off the bed. I treated her as she had treated me in my previous life. I stepped on her hand with my foot, letting her hear the crisp sound of bones breaking. Clara, tell me, if this video gets out, I'm afraid you won't even find someone to take the blame for you anymore. I wanted her to experience the feeling of being dominated by fear. In the past, Clara had gone to great lengths to marry into our family. Big hips for easy childbirth, drugging me she had used all those tactics. Simply because our family was quite well off in the area, she wanted a better life. Now, seeing herself about to return to her former impoverished life, she naturally didn't want to. I wanted her to witness with her own eyes the loss of the son she cared about most and the family she cherished most. At this moment, Grandma Lee was still crying in the hallway, even alarming the hospital director. The director, exasperated, decided to compensate Grandma Lee with a sum of money to settle the matter. Wouldn't it have been over if you had given the money earlier instead of claiming injustice? Clearly, you're guilty, otherwise why would you pay up? Grandma Lee took the money but continued to criticize the doctor, only leaving after a while, dusting off her hands. I asked Grandma Lee if she was going to visit Clara. Grandma Lee curled her lip. That jinx, she killed my great-grandchild, why would I visit her? Useless woman, making this old lady waste 300,000. And you're so old and still not married. Go earn some bride price, or am I raising you for nothing? Watching Grandma Lee's retreating back, I didn't know if I'd earn a bride price, but I knew I had secured her old age money. Ever since Clara got cancer, Daniel completely disregarded her. He brazenly brought Selena home. Facing Selena's provocations, Clara was so angry she almost coughed up blood, and no one defended her anymore. Waking up early, I heard arguing in the living room. Selena was making a fuss, claiming the house was too small, and Clara occupying such a large room by herself was taking up too much space. Daniel hugged Selena, asking tenderly, "So, what do you want to do? Isn't there an abandoned bathroom on the first floor? I think that spot is fine, tell her to move in there." Clara clutched her chest, gasping, "How can you treat me like this?" Daniel looked at Clara's appearance, spat, "You barren woman, it's good enough for you to even be allowed to stay." Clara still wanted to say something, but Selena suddenly clutched her belly, crying in pain, and a puddle of amniotic fluid burst onto the floor. At this point, who cared where Clara was? Everyone rushed, grabbed their birth bags, and headed to the hospital. In my previous life, after Clara's tumor was successfully removed, under my careful care, her health had fully recovered. Therefore, no matter how much Daniel loved Selena, he didn't dare bring her home. In this life, without my help, Clara was barely clinging to life, lingering at home, who still cared about her. Seeing Daniel and everyone leave, I quickly followed. After all, a huge drama awaited me at the hospital. After more than 10 hours of anxious waiting, the moment the baby's cry rang out, everyone's tears fell. "Such a loud cry, it must be a boy." Grandma Lee cried tears of joy. Seeing their happy expressions, my heart swelled with excitement. Sure enough, just like in my previous life, Selena gave birth to a dark-skinned baby, completely unrelated to Daniel. Grandma Lee looked at the dark-skinned baby crying before her and fainted on the spot from shock. "You hussy. I spent money and effort taking care of you, and you dared to cuckold me?" Selena clutched her head, trying to run. The scene was truly chaotic. Grandma Lee had to be put on a ventilator in the hospital, and someone even posted the scene online. As I watched the commotion, I unexpectedly saw a familiar figure. I approached Grandma Lee's hospital room and secretly listened to the conversation inside. "Your daughter-in-law's body is truly a mortal vessel. Using her womb to swap the baby can bring your great-grandchild back to life." Grandma Lee heard this and quickly asked, "Master Shen, where do I find a virgin? Oh my goodness, I'm so worried, my great-grandchild. I remember, my useless relative is still a virgin. Will she do?" Master Shen agreed without hesitation. I sensed something was wrong and rushed home. They wanted me and Clara to swap babies again? How could I let them kill me a second time? I ran home, rushed upstairs to pack my bags, wanting to get away from this place. Unexpectedly, I caught Clara secretly in my room. I had rushed out without my phone, but I heard Clara on the phone with someone in my room. "My useless relative is very pretty, just so you know. As long as you get her, you must take me with you." To my surprise, the idea of a baby swap was Clara's. After checking that no one was around, she secretly left my room. My hand clenched tightly. After she left, I quickly returned to my room to pack my bags. I had to run immediately. As for Clara, she had late-stage cancer. Even if she ran, she wouldn't live more than 3 months. I only took a few changes of clothes. As soon as I opened the door, I unexpectedly bumped into Daniel. It was dark now, and the lights in the house weren't on. In the dimly lit room, I could only see Daniel's shadowy eyes at the door. "Where are you going?" My heart sank. I instinctively swallowed. I'm going to the hospital to visit Grandma." Suddenly, Clara pushed Grandma Lee from behind. "No need to go, Grandma's back." I saw the situation was bad and tried to run. But Daniel directly knocked me out with an iron rod. When I opened my eyes, I was on an operating table. A dirty, messy room, a huge surgical light hanging over my head. I immediately realized I was truly about to be cut open. I tried to struggle, but found I had no strength left. "Don't struggle," Master Shen said. "Once my son transfers into your belly, he'll be able to be born safely." Then, guided by Master Shen, Clara also climbed onto the operating table. But I knew Master Shen had no idea how to perform surgery. He just wanted to assault me. Clara locked herself onto the operating table, her mouth still murmuring about her son. "My son, Mama is about to see you. Heh heh, my son, destined for great wealth and nobility, come back to me." I knew Clara had completely lost her mind at this point. When Master Shen entered, Grandma Lee secretly slipped him a red envelope again. "Master Shen, my grandson is counting on you." Master Shen closed the door, revealing his yellowed teeth as he leaned close to my face. "My beauty, you've made me wait too long." With that, Master Shen hurriedly began to undress. I looked at the huge surgical light above my head. Could it be that even in this life, I couldn't escape the fate of being murdered? Master Shen quickly stripped off his clothes. He lunged like a hungry wolf. Just as he was about to touch me, I flipped over and stood up, placing my hands on the operating table, jumped down, and pulled a dagger from my sleeve. Fresh blood stained the surgical light red. Master Shen's hand was pinned firmly to the operating table, unable to be pulled out. He was in so much pain his face was contorted, while I laughed gleefully. I had been reborn once. How could I not know the importance of self-defense? Ever since my rebirth, I had trained myself day and night, learning self-defense skills, precisely so that one day, when attacked, I could protect myself. Grandma Lee heard the commotion in the room and knew something was wrong. Just as she pushed the door open, police sirens blared. Grandma Lee quickly pulled Daniel and ran. Even Master Shen directly ripped out the dagger and tried to escape. I kicked him, sending him sprawling to the ground. "Don't move, police!" I saw more and more police outside, and I handed over all the evidence of Grandma Lee, Clara, Daniel, and Master Shen's crimes to them. Watching all 4 of them being arrested, the heavy stone in my heart finally lifted. Phew, finally they were all caught.